So today was Disney CinemaCon. Obviously, we got stuff on Marvel, Avatar. They even got to see Lightyear. Now, I will say this before we start off today. I do want to let you guys know that I am recapping CinemaCon every day. Yesterday we did Warner Brothers. The day before we did Sony, and today we're doing Disney. Now, I do want to remind everyone that I'm not at CinemaCon. I'm only going based off what journalists are saying. So I do want to give that little bit of a warning, but let's continue regardless. And again, let us know in the comment sections, what do you think about all these recaps? Do you like what I'm saying? Because I'm only going based off opinions, but we are going to be seeing what Disney CinemaCon had today. They had a lot to show you. And I think so far, news-wise, it's been the best. This is what I love about CinemaCon. One of my dreams is to eventually go to CinemaCon. Obviously, I doubt I ever will, because you have to be an insider, you have to be a journalist, you have to be part of the business. And you also have to have a reason to get in. I don't have any of that. I'm just some weird small YouTuber who talks about movies, of course, because that's my favorite thing in the world. But I would love to go one day. But I even love just hearing what's going on. You hear all this news, and you just get kind of a little jealous, that people are seeing this much footage, and then you hear the buzz, the excitement. But let's actually talk about all that's going on. So we have the Hollywood Reporter here saying Disney debuts first look at David O. Russell's star-packed film Lightyear and Doctor Strange at CinemaCon. I already got my tickets for Multiverse of Madness, so expect next Thursday for me to drop a non-spoiler review, because I already got my tickets IMAX. But yeah, it says the Walt Disney Company took over the main stage at CinemaCon on Wednesday morning for a 90-minute session that delivered exclusive footage of upcoming films, including the anticipated 3D reveal of Avatar 2, along with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Lightyear, and David O. Russell star-packed Amsterdam and Bob's Burgers. Tony Chambers, Executive VP at Theatrical Vice President Theatrical Distribution, kicked off the session by acknowledging a changing entertainment landscape while contouring the one thing that hasn't changed and never will is the power of movies, which he's completely correct about. He added, nothing can match the combined power of Disney, Walt Disney Animation, Pixar's, Marvel Studios, Lucasfilms, Searchlight, 20th Century, all led by Alan Bergman, who is in the audience today. By the way, that sounds like Thanos with his Infinity Stones. You got Disney, Walt Disney Animation, Pixar, Marvel Studios, Lucasfilm, Searchlight, 20th Century Fox. Holy crap, it sounds like Thanos collecting his stones, by the way. Before tossing the baton to Marvel Studios chief Kevin Feige, he delivered a polite warning of what was to come. Buckle up as we take you on a whistle-stop tour. The first stop on the tour was an exclusive sneak peek at Benedict Cumberbatch in Doctor Strange, a film that Chambers said has already earned $42 million in advance ticket sales ahead of its May 6th bow. Feige said he came directly from Marvel Studios' first in-person creative retreat in 3 years. The event said he featured a giant board that takes us through the next decade, and they are unique and special, and they are meant for your theaters. God dang, Kevin Feige is a man with a plan. Doesn't matter if we're in the post-Endgame era. He has a plan, but he says he teased major 3D offerings, and said Ryan Coogler is working very hard on the next installment of the Black Panther franchise. Are we back? Yes, I know we're back, he said confidently, citing the studio's collaboration and huge box office returns with Sony on Spider-Man No Way Home in the next 10 years, with existing characters and new storytelling tools. With the multiverse, anything can happen. Feige then introduced the extended footage of Doctor Strange that featured a wedding scene with Rachel McAdams' character walking down the aisle before a giant one-eyed octopus threatens to nuptials. I'm assuming eat a celebration outside. Cumberbatch and Benedict Wong's characters square off with the alongside. I don't know how to read Aztec names. I apologize. By the way, I'm Hispanic, so I can clearly tell this is an Aztec name. I'm just going to call it Gomez's character as America Chavez. She later explains the multiverse and her ability to travel through it, while also calling the octopus a henchman that was after her. Disney previewed 30 minutes of Pixar's Lightyear, which is set to open June 17th, and is the first Pixar title to get a theatrical release since the start of the pandemic. Soul, Luca, and Turning Red debuted on Disney Plus, by the way. The first theatrical, I don't really feel like talking. I think that what's By the way, there is going to be a same-sex relationship in Lightyear, I believe. So that's something interesting. And then, of course, you got Amsterdam. I'm more interested of the cast. You got Christian Bale, Margot Robbie, John David Washington, uh, Rob, Robert De Niro. Uh, Hold up, Garb with Taylor Swift, Chris Rock, Anna Taylor Joy, Mike Myers, Rami Malek, Zoe Saldana, Timothy Oliphant, Michael Shannon. By the way, I love Michael Shannon. Andres Riseborough, Alessandro Nivola, and oh my goodness, that's a star-studded cast. And then the Avatar. The one that excited me most was the Avatar 2 stuff, okay? I'm not even going to deny it. Avatar 2 is a movie I've been way too excited for the last 12 years. Yeah, so now let me give you my thoughts. First, let's talk Avatar 2. What was the name of the movie? It was called... What was it called? The Way of the Water. There we go. Avatar 2, The Way of the Water. I gotta give you guys my thoughts. Zoom in on me on Avatar 2. Now, I really enjoy that first Avatar movie. I remember being a kid watching that movie and being so amazed how stunning it looked. I know it's the popular thing to poo-poo on this movie, how everyone says, oh, it's overrated. But let me remind you, this movie was the highest grossing movie of all time up until another movie came in. And it wasn't just another movie. It was a movie that had over 20 movies of anticipation in it. That had some of the biggest characters up until that point, with multiple movies along the way making billions in the box office, with probably the biggest cast of all time. You got of course Chadwick Boseman, you had Robert Downey Jr., you had Chris Evans, Chris Pratt, Tom Holland. You had such a star-studded lineup. It took that movie to be Avatar. And Avatar in its time did something very, very historical. And I really quite enjoy that movie. So I'm excited. Everyone in watching it was saying how good it was. They were saying how this is a freaking amazing trailer. So I'm excited. And the thing that excites me most is that they're going to show it to us when Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness drops, which to me is amazing because I'm going to go watch Multiverse of Madness in the theater. So seeing Avatar 2's trailer for the first time in theaters, because I remember with Top Gun Maverick, with that trailer, which you of course can see a Blu-ray copy right here, when that trailer dropped, I actually decided I'm gonna wait 2 days because the next, no, I think it was just a day, but the next day I went to go watch Sonic 2, and I'm like, hey, you know what, if I'm gonna see this trailer, how about we just wait for it to come out in theaters? That way we get that big screen anticipation. And of course that came out to be true. And I got to see the trailer in the theater for the first time. And I'm loving that they're going to do that with Avatar 2. Because, of course, the theatrical way is the only way. Streaming, as good as you are streaming, you will never be as good as the theatrical market. And then Lightyear. Let's talk Lightyear. Lightyear, I'm very excited for it. Now, one thing that really got me hyped up is I was watching the John Campea show. And they're saying how Lightyear apparently is a really freaking good movie. They got to see the first 30 minutes. Apparently they got emotional. I'm like, wow, the first 30 minutes and you're getting emotional? God damn, this has to be a freaking good movie to do that. I'm of course excited because I did grow up loving the Toy Story franchise as a whole. And when I heard this concept, I was like, you know what? Because I won't lie to you, I've kind of poo-pooed. Like, I remember when Toy Story 4 came out, I kind of poo-pooed that idea because I'm like, 3 ended pretty well. Then I saw 4 and I actually really enjoyed 4. But when the idea of Lightyear first came to be a couple of years ago, when Disney was doing their explanations and all that, Lightyear just made sense. It's a story about this toy that, the toy that you see in Toy Story. You get to see that movie. You get to see that story of why Buzz is popular in the Toy Story universe, because this movie made that character special. And hearing that it's so sci-fi-ish, how stunning it looks, the stories and all that honestly excites me. I cannot wait to see Lightyear. Here's one question I will ask. One question. I'm only going to ask one question. So they have emphasized that there's going to be LGBTQ plus representation, which is great. I love representation in all form. So hats off to Pixar for doing this. I will say, though, the first Toy Story movie came out in the early 90s. And in the Toy Story universe, I'm going to assume it's the early 90s because the technology you see, all that's 90s stuff. So I'm going to assume Andy's a 90s kid, right? because we also saw him grow up, so we know that he changed age. So of course he had to be a '90s kid. Here's one question I'll ask. I notice nobody's asking this question. I don't think having an LGBTQ plus character in the '90s would fit well. So maybe that's a little bit of a plot hole. I don't know, but of course, then again, to be fair, movies in the past have had representation, because remember, before the 2000s, before being LGBTQ plus, you were harassed, you were bullied, you were treated lesser, and even me growing up, I'm a 2000s baby. I was born in 2001. Even when I went to school, I remember you would get bullied and harassed if you were LGBTQ plus. And so I do wonder, because I know definitely if a '90s cartoon movie came out, I don't think that parents would want LGBTQ plus representation. So I'm just saying that because I'm like, in a real world, that probably wouldn't, in the '90s, in a kids' movies, that probably wouldn't fit well. But then again, it's all fictional. I don't care. Representation's great either way. I'm just putting the question out there. But of course, I like representation. So of course. But anyways, what's the next thing we were talking about? Of course, you got Amsterdam. I don't really have much to say besides, holy crap, that's a big, stunning lineup. But let's talk Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Here's the image that we gotta see. Multiverse of Madness, the big movie everyone's hyping up. Apparently they got to see the first 20 minutes of it, and in the first 20 minutes you get to learn about America Chavez's character. Of course, you get to see apparently Rachel McAdams' character. I forget what her name is in the movie, but her wedding's going on. We've seen that in the trailers, and they fight the giant one-eyed monster, which the name I cannot remember, which I feel like probably was here. Where was it? It probably should have been here. Hold up. They're giant one-eyed. Oh, they didn't even say the name. They just said giant one-eyed octopus. I'm guessing Hollywood Reporter didn't even dare to do the research on what the heck that is. But apparently, when I heard John Campio's reactions, apparently Wong is a badass. From the little we heard, there's apparently a Spider-Man reference in it. And apparently the reference isn't major. What it is America asked them, hey, have you ever dealt with the multiverse? And they're like, hey, we helped Spider-Man. I do wonder. So I'm going to assume they don't know it's Peter Parker, obviously. But I wonder if they know if it is even a teenager or something like that. But I doubt it. I'm pretty sure what they're just going to say is that they know they erased Spider-Man's memory, or they erased everyone's memory of Spider-Man. So they don't know who Spider-Man is. But, yeah, hearing the footage, a lot of the plot leaks seem to be possibly coming true. And then there was a commercial recently that confirmed the Illuminati, of course, which we've been knowing for over a year now. The Illuminati's in this movie. But another thing that intrigued me is that we got to see the Living Tribunal possibly appearing in the movie. So it is what it is. A lot of what we've heard sounds interesting. Great. I cannot wait. I love how they even say that this starts off with an action piece of Defender Strange saving America Chavez while she's traveling the multiverse. You also learn that she can travel the multiverse, so that is very interesting. Yeah, I cannot wait to see what they do with this movie. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Disney Plus CinemaCon situation. It seemed like a great presentation. I quite liked it. I think it probably hyped me up. What really excited me is when Kevin Feige was basically saying, we got the next 10 years planned. We cannot wait to see what they're doing. The Lightyear's reaction, I mean, very excited. But, of course, Avatar 2 to me takes the win today. Just because I've been hyping up this movie for so long, man. And now it feels like it might happen. And they confirmed that there's going to be 4 movies. This one, Avatar 2, The Way of the Water, and 3 more. Apparently they said that they're going to be like their own movies, like they're standalone. But eventually it will connect. So each movie is kind of like their own story, which I find very interesting. I can't believe this movie that took 12 years to make a sequel is all of a sudden going to get 4 more movies. It's like, it's kind of crazy, because I remember for years it was just this idea of Avatar 2 could happen. And now all of a sudden, all these other movies are here to stay. So it is going to be crazy to think This was a great CinemaCon, or great presentation. I wish I could have seen it. I really wish we could see these presentations. Obviously, we can't, but I would love to one day see it in person. And maybe one day, if I do ever get invited, I'm gonna look back at this video and think, "Wow, Isaac, you made it. You made it possible." I mean, if Jeremy Johns, John Campia, all these other people get to make it, then you know what? One day maybe I can. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Hope to see you guys tomorrow I forgot what tomorrow is. I don't remember, but another CinemaCon recap for this week. I love how we're doing it this year. I remember last year I was very bad at doing the recaps, but this year I'm of course recapping everything. Thank you to all the members who are supporting us financially. We got Mad Max, Ashley the Widow, CJH, Rhea, Pedro Bonilla, and BK Dan, and Lit Alex. Thank you guys for supporting us financially. If you want to support us financially, you go click the join button right now. It is only 99 cents a month. You get a shout out at the end of every one of my videos. You get stickers for live streams, and you get a lot of exclusive member stuff that I'm still working on. But yeah, and again, it's really cheap. It's probably the cheapest membership you'll find out on YouTube, and it contributes to the channel, whether it's microphone equipment, whether it's camera, whether it's software, whatever it is. You will always be contributing to this channel financially, and your support is always appreciated here on the Multiverse and Movie Show. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.